I'm Anna Warfield, and we are standing in the second portion of the All Things Being Blue exhibition, currently situated partway between the Schweinfurth Art Center and the Cayuga Museum. Currently we're in the Cayuga Museum. As you see, the pieces around me are not in fact blue, but the title is meant to kind of talk about the content in and of itself, not just the material aspects of the pieces. The works in this room relate to the Schweinfurth Art Center thematically and contextually as well. And more specifically, the piece you see next to me, Melt. I think it's important to acknowledge the fact that as artists, sometimes our processes are very solitary, and this piece was an attempt to open up my studio practice and to encourage community involvement in that. And it also stemmed from a period of writer's block and like a form of like a lack of urge to create in myself, which was challenging to overcome. And so I opened that up to my community, and I worked through my social media feeds. Again, still at a point where we were kind of high in isolation in 2020, 2021 spaces, and I invited my community in a sort of Mad Lib style contribution to send me verbs and nouns and adjectives to create a collection of words that we then voted on later to create poems. So this is one of actually technically 4 poems. And this piece, as we worked our way through creating it, it had palms and maybe the word head or something next to it, and my peers could vote up or down which word they preferred, and so the end result was a completely community-sourced poem. After the early portion of 2020 and like the April-May span of time, I thought I took COVID on as like an artist residency, the COVID residency. I think a lot of artists thought of it that way, but then I was hit with this massive like wave of sort of creative guilt, asking myself like, what am I doing with my time? Does this matter? And no one's going to be able to enter like community spaces such as galleries, which is what spurred Sweeping Statement to create something for an outdoor viewer audience type space. But then as I was getting back into making for galleries and interior spaces again, there was just this sort of lack of what to talk about for myself and what to ask, and again, like the isolation was very high. So this started, I believe, I think maybe February is when I started, February of 2021. I started to reach out. It had been something I was thinking about, was like how to overcome this isolation and how to invite people in. And so that's what it began as, was sort of this Mad Lib that asked people to give me words. And then I had a spreadsheet of words, and I picked out the words that I thought like could work together or like could work off of each other no matter which one got placed. And then I had people vote on Instagram between the two that were there, and then the end result, the higher percentage votes went into one poem and then the lower percentage votes went into the counter poem. This was an upvoted poem. It's definitely something that I do want to make all of the pieces, all the poems that were created in that process. It's just a matter of timing at this point, and there are projects that I've begun since. It did really help me get through a period of writer's block, and a period of not just writer's block but also like curatorial block and installation block, that I am now able to like, oh, I have new ideas coming, and so it was very helpful. But I do want to complete the piece because I am thankful for it.